This meeting is being recorded.
Oh my gosh, it's like off-putting.
Hi guys, welcome to this recorded version. So we were unable to record the previous or the Zoom meeting that we just did, so we're doing a recording of it to send to you guys on remind. So if you're seeing this, hi. This is just the same presentation we just did. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna share that. Okay, so welcome to mock trial. We're going to introduce ourselves, introduce who we are and how long we've been doing mock trial, and then we'll jump right in. So, hi, my name is Voika. I'm the team captain this year. I've been doing mock trial for 3 years, since I was a sophomore. And yeah, I'm a full IB student, do lots of clubs on campus, and yeah.
Hi, my name is Megan. I'm an incoming senior, and yeah, I've also been doing mock trial for like almost 3 years, so also since my sophomore year. I'm not doing full IB, but I'm like basically just exclusively like an AP student. Like the majority of my classes are AP. Yeah.
Oh, it's my turn. Hi, my name is Candace. I am an incoming junior, and for the majority of my schooling, high school career, I've been doing honors, and this year I'm going to be doing IB, full IB. And through freshman and now junior, I've been doing this program. So I can definitely say this is a lot of fun and very beneficial.
Hi, I'm Shabi. I've been doing mock trial since my freshman year. This year I'm going to be a junior. And I'm also a full IB student, and I've also been doing tennis. And it's going to be a blast. I've had a lot of fun here.
We also have a team coach, so she's unable to be here to introduce herself right now. But our attorney coach is Lainey Tennant. She's a public defender. She's been doing this program for several years. And if you join, you guys will meet her, and you'll love her. She's the best. Okay. So we're gonna start with the rules of mock trial. We'll start describing the things that you can do, and you'll have the opportunity to decide what you want to do for yourself later on when the case packet comes out, but we'll get into that. We'll talk about the competition, we'll talk about the rules. We'll also be talking about the benefits of joining mock trial, what we think you'll get out of it from like a student perspective. We will be showing a short demonstration clip and talking about upcoming dates and meeting information.
All right, so what is mock trial? Sorry, that's my brother. What is mock trial? Essentially, mock trial is a simulated court trial. So you get to play in a simulated court trial. There's different roles you can do, which we'll get into in a moment. And it's judged by real-life attorneys and a real-life judge. So if you like theater, debate, or you've done neither and just want to get into mock trial because it seems fun, then this is for you. All right, so I'm going to go over a few roles. So there's attorneys, and there's two types of attorneys. You have pretrial attorneys and you have trial attorneys. So a pretrial attorney debates over a piece of evidence that may or may not be submitted into court for the trial attorneys to use. And essentially, they get to debate constitutional rights and debate why or why not it should be admitted based upon previous cases and previous findings. The trial attorneys work with a witness on their team to do a direct examination, or essentially a line of questioning that tells a story beneficial to their side. And the trial attorneys also get to do a cross-examination, which is an examination with a witness who is on the other side. And there you get to develop your story when they're trying to tell a completely different one. So it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of quick thinking, and I highly recommend it. We have witnesses, There's two types of witnesses as well. You have expert witnesses and character witnesses. So expert witnesses, they pretend to be a professional. So you're thinking like a psychologist, or one year there was a snake accident and we had someone who was an expert in snakes. And essentially what they do is they're called on to provide expertise and an expert opinion on why or why not something should have happened. A character witness is also a lot of fun, and that can be anyone from someone who is being defended or someone who was just nearby when a crime took place. Those are a lot of fun too. You get to inhibit like not a professional or a lawyer, but an everyday person who is just involved in what happened. And it's a lot of fun to be able to play a character and to be able to know your story and that sort of thing. So if you're into acting, I highly recommend that role. So we have clerks. Clerks are a great role because if you want something that's not super committal, but you still want to like show up and be involved and be there in the case, then a clerk can keep time, because in the trial, like an attorney can't go on asking questions forever and ever, you know? So the clerk makes sure that they don't go on for too long. They time it. They give you a warning if you're going close to getting over, and they just make sure it's fair. So speaking of keeping things fair, we got the bailiff. And the bailiff swears in the witness and judge, and they maintain order in the courtroom. Once again, a very great role if you just want to dip your toes in a mock trial and, you know, be part of it, but not have something that's super high intense. Then there's the court artists. So if you're into art, that one's for you. The way that works is during the court case, you get to make a sketch, drawing, painting of what's happening in the court and the scene. It's a lot of fun. At the end, you get to show your work to everybody. And that's always, you know, one of the most fun things to see in the trial. And then there's the court journalist. So essentially the way that a newspaper would report on something that happened in court, the court journalist writes up a news article on what happened in the mock trial. So they get to showcase their writing in the courtroom journalist contest, which is a separate contest from the mock trial tournament itself, but still goes to the Constitutional Rights Foundation, and it'll be judged and everything. So that's a lot of fun if you're into writing.
Okay, so as Shabi had mentioned, this all goes to the Constitutional Rights Foundation. They're the ones that set up a date for when like the case packet will be dropped, as well as when the competition will initially start. So pre-COVID, we would do the competition in like an actual courthouse in like downtown LA, I believe. And like perform the trial in an actual courtroom. But and we'll possibly do it to this year unless we have like another surge. Recently during COVID or like quarantine, we had been doing it over Zoom, and for like both of those times, in person and out person or online I should say, we did go through we did have like an actual judge, and like the people that had graded us were real attorneys and that practice law very well. It's very cool when you like do competition to see the case from a different perspective, as well as just like debate, you know? It really sets you on fire. Wicca? Alright, for the rules, I can't go over all of them right now, because we would be here for hours, and I can't keep people's attention for that long. Anyway, really for the rules, you need to refer to the case packet, which CRF will graciously give you. The rules apply for everyone besides like the usual be nice, treat everyone how you want to be treated rule. For certain roles like attorney, this will be the case packet will be very important because it will show you how to introduce exhibits and objections. And for witnesses, you will be able to find your testimonies and your own set of rules, as well as the clerk and bailiffs. You will find like your whole script and whole set. The next slide, please. And then there's preparation for trial. So we are a club that you have to like kind of do some work, you know. We have scrimmages. We may practice with teams from like other schools if we can schedule it. We also practice amongst ourselves. We're like separated between like prosecution and defense for each case. But people can work on other on like roles on both sides if they choose to. We also have meetings possibly just basically every week. We also would like to work during school, if that's comfortable with everyone. We also have like smaller meetings with each other, like witnesses with their lawyers or with the coach. Um, there's also you also need to like carve out some time to work within yourself with your like own time. For lawyers, you need to gather all your cross direct questionings with your witness and work with them, as well as like if you choose to an opening or a direct pre-trials, you need to like do some research and like get like your arguments ready. Witnesses, you need to memorize your testimony and your responses to like questions you may be asked. And then for bailiffs and clerks, you need to like really have a good grasp of your roles and like memorize your scripts if you need to. And then there's of course read the case packet. It's very important. Besides like finding rules, you also need to understand the case itself. So yeah.
Okay, so next I'm going to be covering why you should join. So basically like benefits and like things you can get from being in mock trial. So these are all the main points, all the main reasons that you might want to join mock trial. Number one, which is really important, the experience. So if you're like an aspiring lawyer or you're kind of interested in like the court system, you can definitely learn a lot of things about mock trial, especially about like the structure of cases and like how each role interacts with each other, like attorneys and witnesses, or like opposing attorneys and witnesses. So it's really interesting to see how that plays out in a court. Number two, which is really important to me, is public speaking. So the majority of mock trial roles involve public speaking and like good communication with like your teammates, and also like communicating with the opposing side. So I'm not a very outgoing person, and I'm still not the most outgoing person. But I would say that mock trial has definitely helped me kind of develop those skills and like start to understand like what good communication is, and like how to like speak in front of like larger audiences, and kind of understand, like how to do that without completely just like breaking down and being like a bundle of nerves. So yeah, you can definitely improve your public speaking skills in mock trial. And then number three is a little more specific, but leadership is one of the key things about mock trial. You can definitely strengthen your leadership skills by being in a role like trial attorney or bailiff, because they're definitely centered around kind of like leading others, taking initiative, and kind of like making sure there's order in the courtroom, especially with the bailiff. So if you're interested in like developing leadership skills, you should definitely check those roles out. Working in a team. So everybody does this regardless of their role. We all work together as a team to strengthen our case, make sure it makes sense, and, kind of just work together to be successful. And then number five, organization. You want to build a strong argument or story against the opposing team, like with what Shabi said about like you want to build a narrative that's like totally different from what the opposing team has. So organization is pretty important. And then critical thinking, especially if you're like a pretrial attorney or just a normal trial attorney, you definitely have to be very quick, and you have to make fast and logical judgments, which will definitely help you out, because you want to kind of like dodge questions that are meant to throw you off guard or kind of like ruin your arguments. You definitely have to have a lot of critical thinking. And then one of the most important reasons, of course, is that it's fun. It's definitely more of an like academically geared extracurricular than anything, but it is fun. You get to meet a lot of great people, like the coaches are amazing, and we all work together as a team, and we're like a family, which is like one of the main reasons why it's so fun and entertaining.
Okay, so because we are re-recording this presentation to send to those who couldn't make it to the meeting, I'm not going to show the demonstration clip. I will probably send a video of it in the remind, just because we've seen it enough times. It's an old video. I don't want to hear the music anymore. But I'll send the video through the remind, so those of you can watch our presentation here and then go and watch the demonstration video. Okay. We're just gonna go directly to important dates and meeting information. So here's a list that CRF posted of the important dates. So regarding school registration, so Claremont High School mock trial team is its own team. So those of you that join and decide to be on the team this year are automatically registered on the first. Our attorney coach, Coach Laney, she does that. So you don't have to worry about that. The most important date to really look at is September 8th. That is when the case packet gets released for everybody. This is super important because the case packet is like the holy grail. We read the whole case packet. This is where we determine who does what role. This is where you really get a sense of the rules and what goes into mock trial. So that's a really important date. As far as Claremont High School mock trial team as a team, the meeting schedule hasn't been finalized yet. This is because we're trying to get more members really interested in this, and we're trying to figure out dates that work for everybody. Coming out of COVID last year, everything was on Zoom. And so now everything's going back to in person. So it's a little tricky trying to navigate practicing on Zoom and in person. So for those of you that have heard our presentation, and definitely feel that you are 100% committed to this program, I really encourage you to join the Remind. It'll be the information for how to do that will be on the last slide. I really encourage you to join the Remind. Message the Remind. You'll be messaging me, so just message me via the Remind that you're in. Message me the dates that you for sure aren't available over the week, and we will make a schedule that works for the majority of the people. Most likely we'll be having, so we had a lot of questions about this earlier in the meeting, and what our attorney coach proposed is that we will have a evening practice after school during a weekday, and then potentially have a practice over the weekend. Most likely, once you read the case packet and determine what role you want to do, you'll be meeting one-on-one with your attorney or with your witness, or with coaches directly one-on-one, whenever works for you. That's how it usually happens. That's how it happened last year. People will meet directly because it's easier to do that than meeting as a big group. So yeah, for those of you that are concerned or play sports or have a really busy schedule, don't worry. There's always room to work you in. That shouldn't discourage you from joining the trial. So last thing I have to say is that we are not an all-year program. Speech and debate is an all-year program. We don't do that. We go from September to November. The case packet comes out on the 9th. We really grind. We really get into it. We learn everything. We learn all the rules. We practice over and over again. We do scrimmages. And then the competition happens in November. And once November starts, we go for as long as we can. There's not multiple trials. It's just the one case. It's just the one trial. And then if we advance, we do a second trial, etc. So yeah, so that's all I have to say on dates and meeting times. And yes, so this is the contact information. Screenshot this if you want. But please join the Remind. Please let me know if you are for sure in, and also let me know what dates you are available. yeah, and if you have any questions, you can email me directly with this email, or you can email our attorney coach. She's been doing this for longer. She has way more information than I do. But yeah, anything else you guys have to say? No? Okay. That's it.
We're done.